So good morning class. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the relative pronoun and relative clause for the revision part. Okay, so first of all I would like to ask about, do you know what is the relative pronouns means? Okay, so pronoun, what do you mean pronoun? Okay, so you may see this table, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, these are the pronouns. Okay, so pronoun we use to substitute the noun in the sentence or in the paragraph. Okay, 即係代名詞你我他係點樣用嘅。好 ，OK， so Michael is a handsome boy. So if we use the pronoun to substitute in this sentence, so what we should use? You can type your answer right here. Okay. So Michael is a boy. So it's plural or singular. Okay. So a boy, just one. Okay. So it's singular. So we use Michael as what? He. Okay? And then next one. The dog is so cute. The dog is so cute. So we need to replace the dog into what? It, okay? It is so cute, okay? So these are the pronouns. We use the pronoun to substitute the noun, okay, in the sentence, okay? If we mention about, 即係我哋重複講嘅嘢，我就會用 pronoun 咧去再講多次嘅，得唔得 ？Okay， 再 next one is, do you remember this word? Okay. For example, who, which, whose, where, and when. These are what? The WH question, okay? The WH question we use as the asking some question about who is related to the people or name or something. Which is related to things, which one do you like? 你哋中意邊一個啦？邊一個 ？OK? When is about the time 時間，即係 when is it？ 即係而家個時間係幾點啊？而家 it is now 11 o'clock. Okay? So whose, where, these are the WH words we often use in asking question. So how is these words related to the topic today? We are going to talk about relative pronoun. Okay? So also the next one is that. So that is mean 嗰個 okay? So why I mentioned this word in this part, because later on you can see these all the words as used as the relative pronoun. Okay? So who we can substitute in the question. In the relative clause we use as mentioned people. Okay? So you can see this fat boy, okay, a fat boy. And then in the question, if he is a fat boy, you can replace the fat boy with who, okay? So you see Cristiano Ronaldo, C. Ronaldo, okay? It's also a people, so we use who to substitute, okay? And also you can see, Iron Man, okay? Also is a character or a people, so you can also use who when we using the relative clause to describe about the Iron Man, okay? So is it any question? If no, we go on, okay? So for which, we are going to talk about what? Things, okay? 物件. So no matter it is animal, 動物, or things, or clothes, or something like that, 一啲死物或者物件嘅，我哋都可以用 which 去代替嘅。For example, polar bear is a kind of animal, okay? And then jacket, okay, you can see jacket right here. And then McDonald's is a what? It's a kind of restaurant, fast food restaurant, okay? I think you guys recently ordered takeout from McDonald's so often maybe, okay? 即係你哋呢排可能嗌外賣嗌得好多就會嗌 McDonald's, okay? So we use which to substitute when in the relative clause we're talking about things, okay? And then you can see this word we can use as the relative clause, relative pronoun in the relative clause. We modify the noun, okay? So you can see the important thing is noun, okay? 名詞. So we use who, where, when, which, and whose replace that as the noun to give more example or information about in the relative clause. Okay, so relative clause, you can see I like my friend. This is two sentences. Okay, I like my friend know me so well. You can see two different sentences. Okay, so we use relative clause as high level in writing or expressing our high technique in writing. OK， 即係我哋高層次啲嘅，我哋就可能會用 relative clause 去表達出嚟啦。咁我可以 simply you can see two different sentences, two simple sentences. OK， I like my friend. First stop, my friend know me so well。即係我中意我個朋友，我個朋友知得我好清楚嘅。OK。So if we need to combine these two sentences into one compound sentences， 即係一個複句啦，或者一個比較深層次嘅句子，我哋就可以用 My friend. First of all, my friend, should you wish WH verb to replace? Okay, my friend is a kind of what? People. Okay, so people we use what? You can type your answer right here. Okay, people we use who. Okay, so you can see in the example, I like my friend who I know me so well. Okay, so we combine these two sentences into one. Just like your math concept. 即係好似你嘅因式分解 ，we need to take out the highest common factor。OK， 即係將個因數攞出嚟嘅時候，我哋將佢 combine into one sentence. OK， you can see my friend is the key element in these two sentences. Both appear my friend. OK， so first of all, if you use the relative clause, we need to then identify which element or which noun are in the same in two sentences. OK， 即係第一個我哋首先要揾係佢個共同點係啲乜嘢，得唔得？例如呢個係就 my friend 啦 ，my friend 咁兩個 my friend 我哋抽出嚟嘅時候咧 ，we use combined as my friend is the element and then we after that we combine the rest of the sentence into one. OK。So I will raise a difficult question in this part. OK， you notice that relative clause has two different sides. OK， one is defining relative clause, another is non-defining. OK， so today we are focusing on defining clause. OK， I will ask whether you know the difference between the defining relative clause or the non-defining relative clause. OK， this is the question. So you may answer me in the last session of this lesson. OK, so if you answer correct, I will give you a prize when we resume the classes and we meet together, and you will receive a big prize. OK. So be careful about the example, the format of the example, and you can check the answer. OK. So for the relative pronoun, I'm going to introduce one by one. OK, so I'm going to talk about who first. So who, I mentioned it before, we used to talk about people. So in this sentence, the studio belongs to Sally. OK, Sally is a fashion designer. So in this question, which is the common element, or which is the common part in these two sentences? You can see Sally and Sally. OK， so we taking out Sally， 即係我哋將 Sally 抽出嚟 ，and then we form a relative clause sentence. OK， so how can we write? And then you need to think about first. You need to take out what is the same, and then you need to combine these two sentences. Oh, how can we combine? So you can see the example right here. This studio belongs to Sally, OK? And then, comma, who is a fashion designer, OK? So you can see two sentences are combined into one. The first is the studio belongs to Sally, OK? Sally's right here, and then we talk about giving more information about Sally. Who, because Sally is people, so we use who, is a fashion designer, OK? So you can see these are combined two elements in the sentences. Okay, the studio belongs to Sally, and then she is a fashion designer. but we use who to connect these two sentences into one, okay? So, and then I will go to give you more example about how to use who to connect as the relative pronoun, okay? So for the relative pronoun who, you can see talking about people. So Mr. C is the class teacher of 2B. 即係我係以 B 班嘅班主任啦 ，OK? So this is the first sentences, OK? So you can see what is the element we should taking out in the next part, OK? Mr. C teach me English, OK? So what is the common part in these two sentences? 即係咧兩個句子嘅共同點喺邊度 ？What is the common part? OK? Yes, this is talked about before. So because many of you mentioned that it is hard to understand, 即係好難明，所以so we are going to have the revision for you. OK? So you can see Mr. C in these two sentences are the common part. OK? 即係共同點就係講緊Mr. C 我自己啦，係咪先？咁之後 and then we can combine these two sentences into Mr. C, who, we use who, okay? Teach me English is the class teacher of 2B. So you can see the element of both sentences are shown in the relative clause, okay? Through using the who in the sentences, okay? So remember, first of all, when we're using the relative clause we need to find out what is the common part first, and then we combine the two sentences, how we place the sentences together, how we orienting the sentences for placing in different places, okay? And then, okay, so more example. So Miss Che always make joke about Loki. 即係 Miss Che 成日都會用Loki 嚟講笑話嘅。Okay, so as Loki wished to have a girlfriend, so you can see in these sentences what is the common element in the sentences. So Michael, do you understand? So in these two sentences, 呢兩個句子入邊 which is the common common part? You just type it down, it's okay? You can see in different color, okay? So Loki is the common in these two sentences, okay? So we combine these two sentences into one, and then we need to taking out the common factor, okay? Loki. So how can we connect these two sentences? Simply, if we place Miss Che always make jokes about Loki, so we just follow after this sentence we combine this after it, okay? So yeah, you're correct, Wang Yupeng. Joyce. And then we can see Miss Che always make jokes about Loki, okay? Loki is here, right here, okay? And then who wishes to have a girlfriend. So this part we using to describe about what? Describe about Loki, these people, okay? The common factor, okay? 即係共同嘅因素，要點 Loki, okay? So we combine these sentences with who and then describing with Loki, okay? Yeah, just like if we are talking about Loki as the element we used to. So who is useless for people? You are right, Michael. Okay, so Loki who wishes to have a girlfriend. And then besides who, we can see more relative pronoun we can use, okay? So I give you this example as a quiz, okay? So you may write this down and then write your answer in your notebook, okay? So I like Cristiano Ronaldo, 我中意 C 朗拿度啦 okay? So he is my favorite football player. So how can we combine these two sentences into one? Okay, we can combine using this one. So he in here as Cristiano Ronaldo, okay, so also can be replaced. These two are talking about the same people, Cristiano Ronaldo, okay? So, and then we combine it as I like Cristiano Ronaldo, who is my favorite football player, okay? So, you can see when we're using relative pronoun or talking about relative clause, you can see we need to find out the common factor first. And then based on the common factor, we need to see what basis is it, okay? So, is it talking about the people, the things, or places, time, whatever, okay? So, Cristiano Ronaldo is a people, so we use who. And then we add the rest of the sentence at the back, okay? So for which, okay, it is talking about things, no matter it's animal or clothes, whatever, okay? So Mary loved this dress fits her so well. So when we combine these two sentences using which as the relative clause, so which is the common factor? So which is the common factor? Okay, you can see this dress, okay? So if I just talk about this dress, do you know which dress? If I don't show you this picture, okay? Generally, you may not know clearly, okay? So I need to add these sentences as giving more example about this dress, which dress, okay? So you can see the example, the answer is right here. Mary loves this dress which fit her so well, okay? So this part is the second sentence. You can see this dress or it fits her well. So just like what I have taught you with the relative pronoun who, so you can see which are using to describe what? The dress, okay? Just like the example I talked about before, about the people, about who, okay? So just it's the same, we use which to connect these two sentences. So you can see an important part is that Mary loves this dress, and then which is connecting these two parts, okay? So after the element dress, we need to add which, who, or where, something like that, the relative pronoun, and then we add the rest of the sentence at the back, okay? So for more example, and then you can see Emma has her own style, okay? Emma's style is classic and elegant. Classic which means 經典嘅，好典型嘅。Elegant 高貴，okay? Okay? So for this, we need to take out the common factor, which is the style, okay? You can see style in both sentences, okay? Style. And then we add these two into one. So how can we place? Emma has her own style, and then we add what? After the sentence, we add what? Which, okay? So you can see Emma, okay, so Emma has her own style, comma, which is classic and elegant, okay? So you can see style right here, and then after that we add which, follow the noun phrase, and then we add the rest of the sentence, okay? Yeah, you're right, Carl. And then, yeah, Josh, you are right, as we use who to describe people, and then we use which to describe things, okay? Okay, so next one. I want to watch Avengers 4, okay? So first of all, Avengers 4 is a what? It's a kind of movie. It's the name of movie, okay? So movie is thing, okay? So we use which. Avengers 4 is an exciting and fantastic movie, okay? So this one we can see what? Avengers 4 as the element, and then we add this together. So you can see, I want to watch Avengers 4 and then at which, because Avengers 4 is a movie, okay? So we use which. It's an exciting and fantastic movie, okay? So just like the same before, we use the noun Avengers and then we add which, the relative pronoun, and then copy the rest for the sentence, okay? So this is giving more information about talking about what is the Avengers for, okay? So you may think about the question I asked before. So what is the difference between the defining clause and non-defining clause? Okay, so I will ask at the last of this section, okay? So, and then this one, so it is, I'm wearing a hoodie, okay? I'm wearing a hoodie, 即係呢啲衫 hoodie 連帽嘅 hoodie. I bought a hoodie last year, okay? So hoodie is the common factor of these two sentences, okay? So and then we add which after the hoodie, okay? So I'm wearing a hoodie which I bought last year, okay? So you can see a comment right here, okay? So this one is a hint for you to answer the question before, okay? And then that is a special one for we talking about the relative pronoun, because that we can use to talk about people and things. So it is like the 萬能 key, okay? You can use that for people and things, okay? But only under a certain situation, you can only use that to replace who or which, okay? So you can see the example, people that, okay, people, okay, just we can use who or, okay, who. And here we can replace who with the that, okay? Product is the thing, okay? So we should use which, okay? Besides, we use that, okay? People that have dry skin made by products that add moisture, okay? 即係啲人有好乾燥嘅皮膚嘅時候，我哋就會買一啲產品係點樣㗎 ？add more moisture. Okay, so these two brackets are talking about giving more example or information about the product and the people, okay? So it is related to give more example or information about people and the products, okay? So you can see, so if I just say people may buy or people buy products, so what kind of people do you know? I don't know, okay? So what kind of product you buy? I don't know, okay? So in this sentence, we are clearly too specific to give more explanation about which kind of people or what kind of product we use, okay? So, and then whose is talking about the ownership. So the things or people who belongs to something or belongs to someone, 即係邊一個嘅。So in question we use whose pen is it？ 呢支筆係邊個嘅 ？Whose pen is it？ So whose is related 誰的邊個嘅 ？Okay。So in this example, I have a friend whose brother is a model. So in the past we talked about combine two sentences into one. It's about the combination, okay? So at this part we are talking about how to write or how to define one sentence into two, okay? So these sentences are talking about two different parts, okay? One is I have a friend, okay? This is the first one, okay? And then brother is a model. So whose brother is a model? So whose brother, okay? 邊個嘅 brothers is a model. So we use who to connect. As talking about the friend's brother, it should be the friend's brother. The friend's brother is a model, okay? Just right here, okay? The friend's brother is a model. Okay? So look carefully. whose here we can see there is no comma right here, okay? Okay? This is a hint for the question, okay? So the differences between the defining clause and the non-defining clause, okay? So you can see here the dog is over there, the dog's owner lives next door. So which you can see it's not exactly the same in these two questions. So which is the common factor, okay? The dog and the dogs, okay? You can see apostrophe s right here. So it is related to whose. 邊個嘅, okay? Whose. So the dog whose owner lives next door. So here is the first sentences. The second sentences, okay? The dog's owner lives next door. Okay, we use whose to replace dogs. Okay? And that is over there. So we just add this one, sentence B, in the middle of the sentence A to describe more about the dog. Okay? So the dog whose owner lives next door. Okay? Just like the same. Yeah, so Kyle, if we use that, it is properly no wrong, okay, it's correct. But I mentioned that before, that is only can be used under certain situations. So I may talk about later, okay? So please don't be tricky in your exam or in your writing, just use that to write your relative sentence, okay? And then you can see the girl is sad again. And then her doll was lost. So this one you can see the little girl should be the element, okay, common element. And then her. So her is related to the little girl. Okay, little girls. So you can see combining these two sentences into one. The little girl whose doll was lost, and then it said. So it says is the whole sentences for sentence A. The girl is sad. So why is the girl is so sad? Because whose doll is lost or was lost. Okay. So we are giving more example or more details about the girl. Okay, but in the sentence B, the girl is not the subject, okay? The girl's doll is the subject in the sentence B, okay? So we use who to replace, okay? And then this one is another example. The house belongs to me is roof, so it's talking about which? The house, okay? The house roof, okay? And then we just add whose roof, okay? So just after the house. And then the roof is old and then belongs to me. Okay? Easy, okay? So let me recap in Chinese for these sentences for the important part, okay? 即係重點就係我哋會見到有個共同點就係 the house， 跟住我哋會用一個 whose 或者係 which 嘅 who， 我哋就睇翻個句子第二句究竟係用啲乜嘢。例如呢度係 is 係一個邊個嘅 asking whose 誰的，咁我哋就會用 whose 去代替咗 is， 然後再將 sentence B 嘅東西加咗落去。呢、個就係最簡單去講呢個 relative clause 嘅句子點樣寫啦。OK。So besides whose, we can also use where, talking about places. For example, so these are the example used before, so I recap it in this revision, okay? So for you to know more about how to use where, okay? So you can see there's the restaurant, okay? So where I eat last night. So you can see these are two different parts. There's the restaurant I eat last night, okay? Two different parts. The first one, I'm describing which is the restaurant or what is the restaurant, okay? So I eat last night. So in fact, it is related to I ate at the restaurant last night. So this is talking about, you can see at the restaurant is the common factor for this sentence, okay? So you can see we replace at the restaurant, we use where to combine these two sentences, okay? 即係我哋講緊一個餐廳嘅時候，邊間餐廳喺邊度啊？我就係我琴晚食過嘅地方，得唔得 ？OK？ So and then, so please remember these restaurants are the same. We are talking about the same restaurant, not the different restaurant. Okay? So okay, you can see I live in a city. I study in a city. So easy. The common factor is what? City. Okay? So how can we use where to combine these two sentences? Okay, so you can see the example. Okay, I live in the city. Okay, city in here we use mention as a place. Okay, 地方 place. So we use where after the city. Okay, I study. So you may ask, oh, Mr. C is here and in. Why we don't use in after we're using the relative clause? Okay, because where is already talking about the places, so it is no need to use in after. We won't say I live in the city where I study in. It is wrong, okay? So we use in right here. You can use in right here, but important, we won't use where anymore if we use in after the sentence at the end, okay? So it changed to which, okay? I live in this city which I study in. If we want to use the in the sentence, okay? So it is a high level for you to know. If you can't get it, it's just forget it, okay? So you can see the city where you live is beautiful. So can you define it into two different sentences or two different elements, okay? The city and then you live is beautiful. So this is A, this is B. So we separate these two into two different parts. You can see sentence A in the city is beautiful. And then the next one is you live in the city, okay? So cities becomes the common part of these two sentences, okay? So please remember, when we use the relative clause, you can see we choose the noun first, we need to modify or we need to give more example, and then after that we use the relative pronoun and then just write the rest of the sentence, okay? So this one is just simple. So we can see the court is a common part, okay? So if we write the sentences, how can we combine it? So we need to choose which one we use as the main, okay? So this time we use what? Sentence A as the main part, okay? So the court is near our school, okay? So the court is near our school, okay? This is the sentence A, okay? So we add the sentence B into this sentence. So okay, where we use for practicing football, okay? So we can see here is the sentence B. Okay, so how can we combine these two sentences? We just choose the common factor, common idea from these two sentences, and then we use the relative pronoun, and then we just copy the rest of the sentence, okay? So if you have any question, just write out in the chat room, okay? So when it's talking about time, so you can see the year was memorable. So which year do you know? No. Okay. So you were born in that year. So do you know which year you are born? Okay. So combining this, you can see year, that year. Okay. It's the common element of these two sentences, and then we need to add these two into one. So also we can see these are the sentence A part, okay? A, and then B also mentioned the year, okay? So we choose year as the common element, and then we use when, and then add the rest of the sentence B into the sentences using the relative pronoun when, okay? The year when you were born was memorable, okay? And then just more example. The summer was long and hot. I graduated from university in the summer, okay? Just easy. Summer is a common element, okay? And then we add this part into the sentences. In sentence A, using the relative pronoun when, okay? When. So the summer when I graduated from the university was long and hot. So you can see these are the part A, and then the bracket one is part B. Okay, easy. Any problem? If no, and then we go through for trying this one, okay? So this is the time of year. Many people suffered from coronavirus 19, okay? 即係新型冠狀病毒啦。This is the year of time. So year of time we use what? Who, which, wherever. So which one? We need to fill in which one? Oh, sorry. It should be when, okay? So because year is talking about the time, okay? And then the next one, I will never forget the day that I first met him. So the date is what kind of part of speech or what kind of noun is talking about. Time, okay? So we also use when in these sentences, okay? So I will never forget the day when I first met him, okay? 即係我唔會忘記嗰一日。咁嗰一日我嚟講邊一日咧？就係講緊 the date, the first day I met him, okay？ 即係我第一日遇到佢嘅時候 ，okay？ So we use when in these sentences, okay? Yeah, you're correct, Joyce. So to sum up what we have talked about, the relative pronoun, you can see whose, which we use talking about people, which is talking about the things or the animals, and then where we use to talk about places, and then when is talking about the time, whose is talking about peoples and things belong to someone or something. So it's talking about the ownership. Okay. Whose 係講緊佢擁有權 ，OK？ So, and then we need to move to the next part. Okay, so defining relative clause. So what is the defining relative clause? Defining relative clause we use to give some essential element or saying about exactly which people or person or things we are talking about, giving the essential element. 即係好重要嘅，非常重要嘅東西。If we don't talk or if we don't add this part in the sentences, so we are not clear or we are not know what are you talking about. Okay, what are you talking about? So for example, okay, this one. This is the jacket. Okay, so if we just look at this is the jacket. So Which jacket do you know? Which jacket I'm talking about? No? Okay? So we add I like the most. So this is the jacket I like the most. 我最中意呢件 jacket. Okay? So if we just talk about this is the jacket or this is a man, 嗰度係一個人. So do you know which man I'm talking about or which people I'm talking about? Definitely not. Okay? So we need to ask this part, the underlined part, as the essential element or essential or important information to talk about which jacket I'm talking about, okay? And then, so for the defining clause 即係限定嘅句子嘅時候 we can remove the sentence, the part as we used it before, and we can chop this out as the standing alone as the sentence, okay? So this one. If we just mention this is the jacket, it's wrong, okay? We can't understand which jacket you are talking about, okay? And then, so you can see cross here, okay? So which jacket? I don't know. So we never remove the defining clause from the sentence, okay? So because it was contain essential information, 即係包括一個好重要嘅資訊，我哋唔可以抽取出嚟嘅，得唔得 ？OK。So for the defining relative clause is begin with the relative pronoun. Okay. So in the defining clause we can usually see if we're talking about the people, the things, or the ownership, you can see whose, which, or whose. Just like this one. So as before Carl asked about, can we just use that in talking about both people or things? If we are writing the defining relative clause, you can use both. You can use that in the defining relative clause. But if you are talking about the non-defining relative clause, you can't use that in the sentences, okay? We just can use which or who. So I will explain what is the non-defining clause later, okay? And then, so you can see, Sally is a young girl that loves taking selfie, okay? So just talking about Sally is a young girl, so definitely not a good sentences as you're writing, okay? So you're just giving, oh, Sally is a young girl, so what is different for Sally or Elsa or whatever, okay? So what is the difference, or how is Sally is specific, okay, or special? So is that what Sally is what loves taking selfie， 即係好似自拍嘅，咁我就知哦 I can know who is Sally, okay? It's a young girl who loves taking selfie, okay? So also the main point for the defining clause is that you can see after the girl or before the relative pronoun, you can see there is no comma here. No comma, okay? No comma, okay? So we can leave the relative pronoun who, which, and that in the defining clause when we referring to the object. Okay. So if we writing the sentences as the relative pronoun is related to the object， 即係個賓語，通常係occur at the end or the back part of the sentence. So you can see my friend, and then we just add who, and then we add the rest of the information we need to add. Okay? So Tom is a friend. What kind of friend? We don't know. So we use who or that to connect this information. Okay? So Tom is the friend I like to chatting with. So simply this sentence is I like to chatting with Tom. Okay, so if we separate the sentence into two, I like chatting with Tom is the sentence B, okay? And then so for the defining relative clause, we can also not using the who or that the relative pronoun to connect the sentence A and the sentence B, okay? So you can just add who or that, or no, not using who or that the relative pronoun to connect these two sentences, okay? So, and then, so this one is also the same, so we can cross the which or that as using the defining relative clause, okay? So, however, when we're using whose, we can delete whose as in the relative pronoun, a relative clause, okay? So if we just, I met a lady, clothes are yellow. So lady and clothes are not talking the same subject, okay? So the clothes belongs to ladies, the ladies' clothes, okay? So the ladies' clothes are yellow, okay? So we can't cross out the which, whose in the defining relative clause, okay? So we must keep whose in the defining relative clause, we're using whose, okay? So, and then this one. So if we're talking about the subject of the relative clause, it's also not okay for crossing out the relative pronoun whose, okay? So 即係當佢係主語嘅時候，我哋個句子係講緊looking 邊個 looking at us 啊，我哋就唔可以將個 who 係踩走佢，我哋一定要將個 who 係 keep 喺度 ，keep in the sentence，OK？ And then so have a quick review about the defining relative clause, okay? So to say exactly what or which people or things we are talking about, and then begin with the relative pronoun, it is a must, okay? So we need to use the relative pronoun to connect the important information to talking about the subject or the object we want to exactly to say about, okay? And then also we don't use comma, okay? We don't use comma in the sentences, in the defining relative clause, okay? So you can see this example, okay? I just go very faster, okay? So you can see who, that, okay? You can see there is no who or that is okay, and then this one. But when we're talking about whose, we can't cross out whose, okay? For the people, for the things, it is okay for don't using the relative pronoun who or that or which, okay? So you can see no comma here, no comma here, okay? No comma, okay? So at the first or at the beginning, I've asked about what is the difference between the defining clause and the non-defining clause, okay? So defining clause, we are talking about the 限定嘅 we are talking about the identify 我哋想清晰表示知道分辨到 the subject or the object of the sentences. So therefore, it is a must for we to add some information about in the sentence. We don't use comma in the sentences, okay? So who and which can be replaced by that. Okay? So for the non-defining clause, we can see we are talking about Cristiano Ronaldo or some people, Sally, whatever it is. We know the name. 我哋知道個名，或者知道一啲地方嘅時候，或者知道個戲嘅名嘅時候，我就知係講乜嘢東西。而 non-defining clause is giving about the extra information 額外嘅東西，即係我哋就算唔講後面嘅東西，我哋都知道嘅。所以 non-defining clause is talking about the extra one. So for the extra one, it can be no need to explain about. We just want to give more example. So, and then we need to use the comma to connect. We need to use the comma before the relative pronoun. Okay, so for example, whose, where, whatever. Okay, so in front of the relative pronoun, we must need to use the comma. Okay, so for the non-defining clause, we must retain who or which. We can't replace it by the that. Okay, so that's why I said that it is not okay for you to use all the sentences using the that to write the defining clause, okay, or non-defining clause. So this is the end of today's lesson. Okay, so please be reminded, keep in your mind. Okay, so what is the defining clause? What is derivative pronoun? Who, which, or how we can use derivative clause to talk about giving essential information or important information about the sentences or the subject we want to talk about. Okay, so for the non-defining clause, if we see the sentences are talking about the name or exactly what the name or the product it is, you can just use non-defining clause to talk about. For example, the Avengers 4 or the CSJ, if you're talking about the school CSJ, okay, so we are using about the non-defining clause. Okay, so this is the end of today's lesson. So please do your homework, or you may try to do your homework on the textbook about the defining clause and non-defining clause. Okay, I may have the lesson for you guys on Friday to explain or to check the answer through another live tutorial. Okay, so thank you.